Hey guys, welcome back. We got some friends from college, some sex education, regular releases, hidden gems, and we've got some news for you, all coming up next.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Yay! Matches your shirt, Central Perk.
Holy moly!
See, I did that on purpose. Oh. See, Emmy Cassandra Martinez was like, hey, why are we playing this song? It's because she's wearing the shirt.
Ashley, good catch.
Yes.
Thank you. Wow. I think it's meant to be. Yeah.
Unintentionally on theme.
Yes.
And someone told me I looked like Jennifer Aniston last night, so how about that?
All right.
Oh, okay.
For theme.
Hey guys, welcome back. Let's say congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams and not the New England Patriots.
Seconded.
I'm Rick Hong, and next to me I have...
Hi, everybody. I'm Ashley. Good to see you. Happy Sunday.
And on the other side of the table, we've got Steve Kaufmann.
Hot take, I think Friends are the Tom Brady of the 90s. Yeah,
I don't know what that means. And we got Amy Cassandra Martinez.
Hey guys, what's up?
I mean,
All
there's
right.
so much success, you hate them.
Hey.
I don't hate Friends. It's a very white show. That's all. But instead of Friends, because Friends was a white show, we are actually talking Friends from College, which is not a very white show. It has some diversity, like Friends should have had, but. Amy Cassandra Martinez. Mm-hmm. So we kind of talked about this last week, and you had watched one episode. Mm-hmm. Did you finish watching the season?
Heck yes, I did.
And me
Watched
too.
the whole season. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good work, guys.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
So you go.
Yeah, okay. So I'm sure I'm not the only one that's watching multiple things at once. So it's one of those things where you start watching, the first episode of a season, and you're like, okay, I might come back to this one. Well, yeah, it was that good. This season was that good for me to be like, I have to finish it now. So, I think it was even better than the first season.
I completely agree with you.
Okay,
Because
cool.
I was not excited about season 2 because I thought season 1 was like, okay,
Garbage?
this... No, I didn't think it was garbage. I was just like, it was
No.
kind of even. And like in the way that it ended, I was like, this is a weird ending. And I was just like, if it gets a season 2, it'd be interesting. And it did. So then, since we had talked about it, I said we were going to watch it. I decided, okay, I'll watch the first episode. And as soon as I watched the first episode, I was like, gotta keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's one of those rare cases where season 2 is better than season 1.
Okay.
Whereas normally, like season 2, like, they're trying to figure it out a little bit because like
Yeah, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
What tonally though? Because the season 1 was actually kind of tough to watch. Parts of it were really like tough and dark and
Yeah.
heavy. Is it still that same sort of dark comedy type feel, or
It turns into more of a comedy. It's a little bit lighter. I mean, there's still like a hairy situation that carries over from season 1.
I think we
but
can
it's
talk about that
still-
without a spoiler. The cheating situation, right? There's a
Yeah, and they kind of address that, just kind of how people like are like post that, like where people are like, okay, we're separated, and but like meanwhile it's just like we're all still kind of friends, and so like how you kind of tiptoe, and they kind of pick up, not necessarily time wise. It's like a year later.
Yeah.
It's a year in their world. It's a year later, and so some people haven't seen each other in a bit, and like they have to come together for Fred Savage's engagement party and he's engaged, and he's engaged to Billy Eichner.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I love his character on this show. I forgot about how much I like his
good.
character. He plays a gay, like flamboyantly gay literary agent, right?
He's a book literary
Yeah.
agent, not flamboyant.
That's Fred Savage.
Yeah,
Is
like
that
Fred.
flamboyant? I thought he was pretty flamboyant.
No. He plays. I mean, he plays. I mean, he plays. He's gay in the show, but he plays very straight in terms of like he doesn't try to. He doesn't try to like do it because like Billy Eichner is kind of that, and Billy Eichner in real life is gay too.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that Colby Smolder's character Lisa in the show, I think she handles the whole like post cheating situation very well. It's realistic, I would say, and I think that part of what makes the show so much better, even in the second season, is that. I mean, and I think you have this with anything. With an ensemble cast, you're not just getting a reaction from one person. You're getting that whole awkwardness of everything else. So, I do agree, though, that it is lighter. It does touch on things. But
High recommend from me. High recommend
Yes.
from Amy.
I love the whole cast, so I did tell you guys I would get back into it. I didn't have time this week because I was watching some other stuff that I can't wait to talk about.
It's
which
fine.
took
I mean,
my-
whenever you decide to check in with it, you can say like, God, you guys are
check
right
back when you get
again.
High recommend.
Unfortunately, Rick is usually right.
High
So-
recommend of all the people involved in this show. I've not seen it.
But I do have a very not high recommend. I have a very recommend that is like don't watch it at all. But
Oh, gosh.
I will honestly say it is not my demographic. It is Carmen Sandiego.
Where
So-
in the world is Carmen?
Yeah, so it was like a
Sandiego?
game show as a kid. I think it was like an animated series at some point.
Heck yeah, it
and
was.
This one is CGI. It's CGI or like CGI animation, and I couldn't deal with this CGI animation. So I was probably like just a few minutes in, and I was like, dude, I have to turn this off. It's Y7 though, because it's not for me. It's not for me. It's
Yeah.
for
Because
kids.
you're 55.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like that
So-
Kim Possible like blocky style, or is it?
Yes, a little bit. Yeah, and I'm not used to this kind of animation. So I'm used to like the like the Looney Tunes. That was my Popeye the Sailor Man from like way back in the from way back in the day. Tom and Jerry, like that's my kind of animation.
Well, like hand drawn
This-
cell shades versus.
Yeah, this isn't my kind of animation. So I mean, plus it's like I only like TV MA. Where there's certain things that are added to the MA part, and this has none of that. So,
But it's amazing that Netflix is building content truly for like so many different audiences. They are really trying to take over the world here. And I
well,
think
kids
the more-
programming is huge. That's why.
I know, but there's
Yeah.
just not a ton of kids. I mean, there's more kids programming on there now than there ever has been. But
Yeah.
it traditionally was not intended for kids. I don't feel like.
Also,
I think-
speaking to that, Star Drew in the chat just said, "Wait, Carmen Sandiego came out this week." So like, I think algorithmically, I didn't know this was this week
Stardew,
either.
how old are you, man? Come on now.
But like, you sought this out. Like, I don't think it came up on your homepage.
Yeah, I knew that was coming out. I mean, the big key thing for me, though, is I'm a big fan of Gina Rodriguez, and she voices Carmen Sandiego, so that's why I wanted to watch it, just to get some
Yeah.
sort of idea. And just like with She-Ra, I was like, no, it doesn't work for me.
Lin-Manuel Miranda did the theme, though, right?
I don't know.
No? Okay.
But do you think kids would like it? I mean, it's intended audience. Do you
Well,
think
I mean,
kids
if we had kids watching and I was a kid, I would say, hey, go watch He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. That's on there.
And after that?
And then I would say, then go watch the original She-Ra.
And after that,
And then I would
See how much
say,
kid programming he's
go
actually
watch
watched.
Thundercats, but I don't think it's on there, so go to you. No, okay.
Okay, well-
Anyways.
And then find the Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego game show.
well, I was going to
Right.
Which is
say
fire.
the computer game
Yes.
was my jam.
My friend hosted that, Kevin Shinnick. Just saying.
Wait.
Wow.
Yes.
Wait,
That was
really?
his whole life. Yes, he was the host of the game show portion of the Carmen Sandiego business. We could bring him in studio sometime.
Can we please?
We sure can.
Okay. Anyways, Sex Education. Ashley and Steve, you guys watch this?
Yes.
Well, I didn't get a chance to watch it. I had said I was
Oh,
going
sorry.
to.
That's right. Sorry,
no,
Steve.
but
Sorry,
because,
Steve.
because I got distracted by the next thing that we're going to talk about, it completely compelled me. So, but I'm excited to hear what you thought, Steve. 'cause
I work
did
from
wanna watch
home
it.
and had minimal outside the house commitments this week, so I've seen a lot.
Good.
Sex Education, it's 8 episodes, roughly TV hours, so 40 to 50. British, everyone's British, and it's about a young 16-year-old. It's a 16-year-old boy who goes to a preparatory school in England. His mother, played by Gillian Anderson.
Anderson? Mhm.
Yes.
Oh,
Gillian
wow.
Anderson.
Yeah,
X-Files?
she
Agent
loves playing
Scully.
British.
Yeah,
She
she's
loves it in
Scully.
the fall and Sex Education.
Yes.
Yeah, she loves playing
And
British.
like, she is a sex educator or a
Educator.
relationship
Educator.
counselor, like a relationship counselor.
Right.
And he is 16 and like doesn't have a great connection with his mother. And I didn't think I was gonna like this, to be very honest. It felt a little like all the trailers I saw felt a little cute, a little too cute. But you actually watch everything in context, and it's actually a really funny, dark comedy, and it's actually a little timeless.
Half hour?
Really?
It's a TV hour, so like 40-ish.
Okay.
40, 50.
Got it.
Did it feel at all like? Did you ever see the In-Betweeners, either the show or the movie, The British? Which was like really kind of
Not enough to speak to it, but
boyish comedy, like they're making,
No.
wiener jokes the whole time.
the
are hilarious to
the
me,
boy
but-
is only hardly a main character. It's also his friend who is it's his friend who is semi out as gay, and then their friend who is also around the school. That the crux of the whole plot is that he starts making money giving sex advice to people in his school.
Okay.
And yeah.
That's like Peanuts. Like
Kind of,
Lucy.
sort of like Peanuts. Also, I've been told it's like Charlie Bartlett. I've not seen Charlie Bartlett, but it's very similar, where he was giving relationship advice in a high school.
Okay,
But it's really good. It's 8 episodes and completely worth the time. My only real regret at this point is that I didn't space it out a little more. That I watched 8 of them in 3 days, and now I really want more because the characters are so well developed.
Yeah, this is like Freaks and
Oh,
Geeks.
good. Okay,
Interesting.
cool.
It's got a Freaks and Geeks vibe. I want to mention that it's timeless. That until someone doesn't pick up a cell phone until midway through the pilot, And until that moment, you genuinely don't know what year it is.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
That's how
what you-
timeless the
that's
characters
what you mean
are.
by timeless. Okay.
I like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Worth a watch. Good deal.
All right. But then you guys watch, I mean, Ashley and Steve, you guys collectively watched Fire!
Oh, man. Fire.
So,
This is...
Ashley, did you watch the Hulu one first?
I did not watch the Hulu
Okay.
one first. I watched, true to our platform, I watched our Netflix, the Netflix version of this documentary first, even though Hulu beat Netflix to the punch.
I heard
and
both are good, though.
Yes.
I could not turn this off.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to see this when I go home.
It's like watching a train crash. You
Yes.
cannot look away. It's unbelievable. I'll give some backstory, and then Steve, you can chime in. Fire is, if you guys weren't following us, this music festival that was, it was a huge scam, but basically it was sold as like this amazing event, and they hired like the biggest models, Instagram famous, Bella Hadid, Kendall Jenner, what's the other?
Emma,
Clark something.
the blurred line
Oh,
ladies, Emma something.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful models in scantily clad bikinis running around to shoot this promo for this island that didn't exist. It's lie after lie after lie, and so it documents what I think we publicly saw as the fallout of the festival. I guess I wasn't in the targeted echelon to know about Fire Festival leading up to it. I would have never known about the festival until after it failed.
What I will say, heading into either of these documentaries, because they're both incredibly watchable.
How long?
90s,
At
90-ish.
1:30, yeah, an hour 37.
Hour 30,
They're
okay.
both under 2 hours.
Okay.
I will say, heading into this documentary, I think the Schadenfreude of all of us is to think, oh, these dumb millennials paying way too much money to go to a music festival, and then they got conned. Boo hiss. And both of these documentaries, the Netflix one specifically, did a really good job of showing these were victims.
Yeah, totally.
These were victims of a crime. Like, they were a bunch of kids who paid a lot of money.
And by kids, by the way, these are like adults. These are, young.
But under 25-year-old.
20s and 30s, yeah.
Like, under 25-year-old people, this may have been the first major purchase they've ever made in their life.
But they probably had to be 21. Was it
No,
true?
Yeah.
no,
I don't even
no.
know.
They were in the,
Oh, okay,
they were in the
okay.
Bahamas. No,
Yeah.
you probably only have to be 18.
Got it. Right.
But the
And-
tickets were thousands of dollars, and then they wanted you to buy more, experiences when you got there. And on top of that, like the victimhood of just the people that were alleged, concert goers or who were supposed to be going to this concert, it's also the people that he was partnering with and lying to.
Well, yeah.
Billy McDonald is the guy brown hair guy. If you're looking on the screen, he's shown in a lot of photos, like on a jet ski, like living this, luxe lifestyle, and he was really just running the biggest con ever.
I will say, as a documentary editor, the one thing I can definitely notice between them, because this one, and there's a big news story around, this one was made by Vice and F. Jerry.
Yeah.
And F. Jerry was the social media company that was hired by this guy to promote and ultimately sell out this festival.
Right.
And the Hulu doc wasn't, and kind of made a shot over the bow threw a little shade of, like, they're making their own documentary, but they're kind of complicit. But
Yeah.
what I will say as a documentary editor, the Netflix one had way more original footage than the Hulu one. The Hulu one had a lot better interviews, and it was more based around, and it had an interview with Billy himself.
That's the Hulu scoop, is that they paid Billy for this for this like direct to camera interview. However, to your point, Steve, there's footage. I'm like, how did Ja Rule's camp let this footage get out? Because Ja Rule is one of the main first rappers and investors in this whole series. I mean, he plays a huge role in not just the festival, but also in the Netflix documentary. Again, I can't speak to the Hulu documentary, but holy cow, I'm like, where was the PR team that stopped him from? And he's been tweeting since this documentary came out, like, whoa, everybody's blaming the rapper, like, you guys don't understand. I just, like, he looks so bad in this documentary in particular. There's a moment with some models where I'm like, that is not...
All right.
The only question I have after watching the whole documentary is there a GoFundMe for the Bohemians?
Oh, I know, right? There should be. Jay Becker's in the chat asking if he's in jail. He is not in jail. He was sentenced to 6 years in jail.
He went, right? He's in prison.
He's not currently in prison.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
the Hulu doc gets into it.
Yeah, you guys watch it, and then we
I
can
am
have
so
those
intrigued,
answers.
though.
Me too. I'm definitely watching it. Amy, you watched You.
Yeah, I watched me. No, I watched you. Okay, so yeah, I'd heard about it a lot. It's with Penn Badgley,
Yeah,
Gossip
Penn
Girl,
Badgley.
Dan. Yes.
XOXO.
Gossip Girl. Yes, there are 11 episodes. No, sorry, there are 10 episodes. Each one's about an hour, and it is TV-14. Just keep that in mind. It gets so freaking weird. I heard about it through Twitter, everyone was like, "Oh, he's a stalker." That's not a spoiler. That's clearly out there on the internet. And I don't know. I'm interested. It's one of those, like I said earlier, that when you start watching one episode, it just kind of depends on, what else you're watching. But I finished the first one and I was like, what the heck? There's a lot of voiceover, which I sometimes am hesitant about because that can get super cheesy, but it'll make you look at things differently. And always have curtains, guys. Don't have glass windows is all I'm going to say.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's weird, but I do want to watch it just to kind of be in that loop of what everyone's talking about. But I do know you should not like him. If you like him, you shouldn't because he's crazy. So
Is he the protagonist, though?
you'll have to watch it for yourself.
All right.
All right. Well, one last Netflix original film that I watched was Close, starring Noomi Rapace. She is the original girl with the dragon tattoo in that series before Rumi Mara took it on for the American version. And Noomi Rapace is also in Prometheus. She's in Alien Covenant for a little bit too as well, but she plays a female bodyguard. She is taking care of this young spoiled girl who's like an heiress to, and it has to do with this like big contract, this like big oil contract type thing, and it's an hour and a half. I enjoyed it. She kicks butt in it. She's great in everything that she does. I mean, another little gem in Netflix original film that she is in is What Happened to Monday, which I've talked about before.
Oh, okay.
So that's who she is. So that's a recommend on my end. Hey, Amy. Mm-hmm. What can our people do for us?
Well, you guys, we do want to say thank you so much for making us the ESPN of TV talk. For us to continue to grow, we could really use your help. If you're on YouTube right now, which you are, hi, because you're watching us, make sure to just hit that thumbs up button, and and just go ahead and subscribe as well. But if you are listening to us on iTunes, just go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. Five, only 5. Thank you.
Yeah, 5.
5.
5-star rating.
I thought you were gonna do like 5 golden rings.
No, $5.
Oh, I get that.
But that
I
doesn't
get what you're
exist
doing.
anymore. So okay.
Well, no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us and doing what we love. So don't forget to tell your friends, chat with them, talk about Netflix picks and everything that you're watching, and just keep enjoying our shows.
And guys, so for regular releases on Netflix, Steve Goffman's watched a couple.
I have. Let's start with Bill Murray stories.
Oh, yeah, you teased this last week. How was it?
Very good. It was on my watch list, and then the Xbox 360 show that I do here for Sean Waltman's YouTube page had Tommy Avalone, who was the director, as the guest. So I got to meet him, and he's a guy from South Jersey, which is like roughly the same part of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia I'm from. So we talked a lot. And
about how the Eagles aren't going to the Super Bowl.
He's not that into football, but
Great.
yeah.
Okay,
So
anyways,
we
I'm
didn't
kidding,
really
I'm kidding.
have
Go
much
ahead.
commiseration, but he had the right approach to Bill Murray stories, which for those who don't know, it's been a meme for a very long time, a very well-told thing that Bill Murray will turn up in unlikely events.
Yeah.
And do unlikely things, whether it's a college frat party and doing the dishes, or someone's 50th birthday party, or tending bar at a bar in Austin, or anything in and about it. Bill Murray appears. So the guise of this documentary is the elusive Bill Murray and his stories. So, and to the point where they have reenactments with kind of a Yeti, Bigfoot-esque Bill Murray. And it is delightful. It's also an insight into the mind of Bill Murray and the experience of Yes and in the from the improv community that Bill Murray came up through. And it was very, very well done.
Oh, wait, how long?
I believe it's 83 or 84, which actually does hit your danger zone.
Yeah, but this is a documentary. Documentaries are a little different than when it comes to like movies.
A narrative
when it comes to
film,
movies and it's short of 90 minutes, that's when I say beware. But this is a documentary. Documentaries are completely different. They can be long, they can be short. 84 minutes is totally fine.
But I think an indie flick under 90 minutes, I think was the general rule of thumb about the danger zone. But this completely checks out. It has my stamp of approval.
I mean, it says Bill Murray on it. Although I will say Bill Murray Christmas is not good.
Yeah.
Well, so they had good parts. I think Bill Murray Christmas would have worked better segmented into different 10 minutes parts, but we'll get into that. Also, you can only get Bill Murray to work on something if you call the 1-800 number.
Right.
And Tommy Avalone called the 1-800 number and then kept deleting the message because he didn't. It wasn't right. It wasn't right. And then the message he went with, he had his mom say, "Tommy's a good boy. You should come on to his documentary." And then Bill Murray never came on the documentary.
Hilarious.
That's not a spoiler.
And then you got American Meme.
I did get American Meme. This was another one that was a documentary.
Man, there's a theme. You like these American memes and you like these GIFs. That's why it's Bill Murray Stories, an American meme. You have a theme, Steve.
American Meme is about anyone from Paris Hilton to the Fat Jewish and Brittany Ferlin and everyone in between who became, for lack of a better word, Instagram famous or Vine famous as it pertains to Brittany Ferlin and how it impacted their lives. And it gets into a deeper thread that the Fire documentary also got into, which is what is an influencer? What does it mean to have this front-facing persona for a 20-something?
I do just want to, since we're talking about the American Meme and with Fire, something that was really interesting that came up in the Fire documentary is like, because a direct correlation of that festival, it's now required by law for influencers to
hashtag
advertisement because of this festival.
Yes.
Because it was just false advertisement left and right, and there was no. So anyway, interesting.
Yeah, and it was false advertisement on the level that people got hurt.
Affected, victims. Yeah.
But there's a very in-depth look in American Meme to some of the people who, similar to these influencers in Fire, you seem to have one opinion of. Like the American, or the Fat Jewish, as he's called. The Fat Jew, which just feels like a slur somehow.
He's Jewish.
I only had one opinion of him, and it was the negative one that I heard about when I found him, when in reality, he probably has the strongest business acumen of all the people involved. And that includes Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton's in this documentary, and I'm like, no, I think the Fat Jew.
Yeah.
I think the Fat Jew really has his hustle on.
All right. Well, Steve, who else is joining us today besides our panel?
The Fat Jew is not joining us in the chat. So Chill 4 is in the chat. Jay Becker is in
good
the
to have you
chat.
back, So Chill.
Star Drew is in the chat.
Star
Whispering
Drew.
Hands 89 is in the chat. Ashley Chaney is in the chat.
Hey.
Rick Flair is in the chat, and he said woo with exactly 5 O's and an exclamation point. It's almost like that's the copyrighted one. Yeah. That's it. Thank you all so much for joining us in the chat. By the way, you can join us in the chat 7 p.m. Pacific.
Standard time
every
on
Sunday.
Sundays.
There we go.
And finally, Hidden Gems. Amy, you watched Monster-in-Law.
Yeah, not for the first time. And I just want to say...
Not for the first time?
Not for the first time. I love this
Really?
movie.
All
You're
right.
welcome for this recommendation that's headed your way.
No, I've seen it, but keep talking. I'm trying to figure out if this is the same one, so keep going.
It is. I think it's the one we're thinking.
Yeah, 2005. It's a PG-13, an hour 41. It's a rom-com, guys, so you know that I love it. Well, I love most rom-coms. This is with Jane Fonda, Michael Vartan, and Jennifer Lopez. Jane Fonda does play the scary monster-in-law. J-Lo and Michael Vartan are getting married. Vartan. I'm going to say Vartan, just to bug you. I'm just kidding. Vartan, thank you. They are getting married, and it's so much fun. I love me a good old happy rom-com that, you know, is set during a wedding season kind of thing. It's great. It's crazy. It's not the best thing you've ever seen. It's not the worst thing you've ever seen, but it's so much fun. And I love J-Lo's rom-coms. I've got a special little place in my heart for those, but I have yet to see her latest one with Milo.
Yeah.
But yeah, highly recommend, just because why not? If you want to watch something that will make you happy, do so. Ashley, what? Oh my gosh.
Well, it's also the only rom-com with both female leads that have been rapped about in a rap song.
Can you rap that for us?
Can I say ass? Got an ass like Jennifer Lopez, and then the other one playing workout tapes by Bond. That's all.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's all.
Oh.
There's rap songs out there, guys.
Thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome.
Give us a like for that,
Oh,
guys.
come
Come on.
Where are the likes at, please?
Yeah. But yeah, fantastic. And also, we need Michael Vartan in more things.
Like Alias reboot. Just saying.
Yeah. Ooh.
No, there is an Alias
Never
reboot.
been kissed
Wait,
again.
Is that in it?
Yeah, but they're having one.
Well, but is he going to be in it? TBD. We'll report back.
But Never Been Kissed is also a really great one.
Also,
He's in.
yes.
I'm not Josie Grossi anymore.
Josie.
So good.
Real quick, I guess I'll just talk about this one because I don't believe that I have, because I've been watching it. And Marin, which is based on, it was on IFC, Mark Maron. And this is a hidden gem for me because I spent Christmas driving a lot of hours, so I decided to listen to his podcast, WTF, What the Beep. And so then I decided to watch. I mean, I'm a big fan of him. We've had him here at AfterBuzz. I've interviewed him here. And so like I started watching the show, and I'm like, luckily I'm only on season 1 towards 3/4 of it, and I'm enjoying it. So like I know that there's a couple more seasons, so like I haven't like been like, no, I need more, but that's a hidden gem on my
It's
end.
scripted?
So like,
What's the format?
Yeah, it's scripted.
Similar to Louis.
Or yeah,
It's
right.
similar to Louis.
Exactly.
If Mark Maron got the exact same opportunity Louis got with FX, is pretty much, and went a different way. Like he plays a hyper realized version of himself, single camera. He lives in Highland Park.
Yeah.
And fun fact: 5 years ago, that was my very first after show here at AfterBuzz TV. Was the Maron after
Nice.
show?
That's right. All right, guys, and news in the Netflix world. Yes, I love it. We've got our sound effects. So, 80 million households watched Bird Box. 80 million people, don't lie, Ashley Chaney, who didn't like the
80
movie.
million people had to watch
million.
it. They had to see the train wreck. What did I just talk about? Like a train wreck when you can't look away?
No, it's one of those things that, we watch stuff to be in the loop, and that's the Fire Festival, Bird Box,
I mean,
Bandersnatch.
I'll defend Bird Box, but 80 million people watch Bright. Like that's the same. That's roughly
true.
the same number.
So speaking of, like some of the shows that we just talked about today, Netflix never does this, but for their conference in terms of like how they performed, they released information saying that Bird Box was 80 million, Sex Education and You were 40 million households watched that, and then 20 million households watched the TV show Elite, which is like a Spanish series or like a Spanish-speaking series.
They have to do this now because they need to show value to their shareholders. Heading into
and then another piece to the news from that as well. It kind of all just trickles together. They outperformed Q4 in terms of getting subscribers. So Netflix has taken over the world. Don't be surprised if you're watching Tuesday. You'll hear Roma get plenty of nominations. You heard it from my mouth first. And if they win at the Oscars, I mean that makes sense too.
Yeah, I mean they've already won multiple times, and Alfonso Cuarón is doing amazing. So yay!
Last I checked, which was pre-Golden Globes, Roma was the second favorite to win Best Picture. So
Behind?
Behind
Vice? Or
behind. This was
say
pre-Golden.
Bohemian.
Pre-Golden Globe.
This was pre-Golden Globe, so it was
A Star is Born?
A Star is Born. Yes.
Nope.
Oh yeah, Star is Born is not getting a lot.
Star is
of
Born
love.
is going to drop on that.
It's kind
not
of
gonna
teetering.
get it.
No, but
okay,
yay,
and then
Lady Gaga.
finally, top 3 upcoming releases for next week. Polar.
Which I know nothing about. What's Polar?
Polar is I forget.
Well,
Not
Yeah.
Polar
so,
Express.
not Polar
No, it's
Express.
Polar.
Polar.
Polar, and then Hotel Transylvania 3.
Which is shocking that there's a
And
is it though?
Steve Kaufmann's all-time favorite is Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, season 4, part 2.
Yes, because this time last year they released season 4, part 1, and it wasn't a full 10 episodes. It was something more like 5 or 6.
Right.
And I was talking a lot because they did something similar to Arrested Development, although they may not come back to that well. Now, with when you have a show like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt that's both popcorny, very well written, and super off the wall funny, but very, very expensive, the way to do it is to break one season up into 2 years.
Yeah.
Which is smart.
And actually, to answer your question, Polar is Mads Mikkelsen, who is the bad guy in Casino Royale.
Oh.
His version of John Wick.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
cool.
So if you like these assassins that are trying to retire and then someone won't let them do that, this is what this movie is. I'll be watching it, talking about it. In the meantime, on the other side of the table, Amy Cassandra Martinez, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ. I will not be here next week because I'll be going to the SAG Awards.
What?
So I will see you guys after that.
I'm Steve Kaufmann. You can find me on Twitter almost exclusively at Steve Kaufmann. That is Kaufmann. I support. I run a lot of YouTube pages for some of your favorite pro wrestlers. So if I retweeted the link, chances are I'm involved. So support me, support them.
So if you like the Red Rooster, okay. Anyways, after changes.
That was good.
What is the Red Rooster? What is football?
I'll send you a link.
Thanks for giving us your time on a Sunday. I guess there's something about football going on today, but we're glad you're here with us. If you want to keep talking to me, find me online across all social media at Ashley on Camera.
And go Los Angeles Rams for the Super Bowl. I'm Rick Hong. We'll be here next week, Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Bye.
Thank you for watching.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV, Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.